What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers have played 3 preseason games so far, and the one big consensus from those 3 games is that D'Angelo Russell is very good at the game of basketball. I mean, this guy is just lighting it up in every way. He's making plays for everyone else on this roster. He is shooting highly efficient, highly effective. I mean, just the Sacramento game, for example. He played in just under 21 minutes. He scored 21 points, had 3 rebounds, 8 assists, was 8 of 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from three-point range, and also had a block and a steal, which I want to talk about as well because D'Angelo Russell has this stigma of not being a very good defensive player. Now, when he came to the Lakers last year, I talked about how D'Lo is actively trying to defend. He's not very good defensively, but he's actually making an effort compared to when he was on Minnesota and, when he was with Brooklyn and stuff like that. And you see that shift continue this season so far, at least through preseason. Again, I understand it's preseason. I understand it's 3 games. But what we are seeing from D'Lo and the habits, which is what's important, the habits we're seeing D'Lo, project in these last 3 games, I am very encouraged. He is, again, being hyper efficient after coming off of the best shooting season of his career. He is picking up right where he left off. He is getting after it on the defensive end, making great defensive plays, right? Even just beyond the steals, the pressure he's been putting on guys, right? Setting traps, getting deflections. He is just really being a disruptor on that end. Again, I'm not saying he's Jared Vanderbilt level defensively or anything like that, or, prime Kawhi Leonard or anything like that, but he's doing a very good job and is a guy that has the size, the tools, and the intangibles to be a solid, serviceable defender. We don't necessarily need him to be elite. That would be great, but we just need him to be serviceable enough to not just get torched on the other end, right? D'Angelo Russell looks like a guy that has heard all the noise this past offseason, that has a fire lit under him, that is trying to show no, in case you forgot, I'm him, right? I'm here. I'm that guy. And I still see a running narrative of, just the recency bias, which drives me crazy, right? People talk about, D'Lo, oh, he's going to be great during the regular season, but he's going to be terrible in the playoffs. Outside of the Denver series, what series was he terrible in? Because both of the other series, in the Warriors series and the Grizzlies series, he literally saved us. We don't even get there. And it wasn't just D'Lo. Where was LeBron outside of Game 4? Okay, he was hurt. So was D'Lo. D'Lo had a foot injury. D'Lo missed time before the playoffs. He did a whole interview where he talked about the foot injury, right? Where he talked about, I'm not going to be 100%. I got to just manage it. I just got to deal with it. It is what it is, right? He did a whole thing. You go look it up, right? Where was AD? LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who are 2 best players, 2 superstars, all got outplayed by Jamal Murray and Jokic, which Jokic is a little more understandable. Jamal Murray outplayed LeBron and Anthony Davis. That should not be happening, where he's outplaying both, right? And, outside of Austin Reeves, no one showed up in that series. But as always, we need a scapegoat. We need that one person that we can point to. And D'Angelo Russell was that guy. I love the idea of D'Angelo Russell and what he's doing for this Lakers team. I talked about him last season. I was talking about Lakers trading for D'Angelo Russell literally weeks before the Lakers actually did, because I figured he'd probably be available, and I think that he would be a great fit with this roster, and he ended up being here. Now, I know because some people are going to point out, well, you've talked about trading D'Lo a bunch of times, stuff like that. Yeah, because one, I'm a YouTuber. My job to make content and talk about stuff. So when there's news and information out there about trading for this guy or Lakers trading about that guy, literally the only guy that is a trade, actual, most likely to be traded is D'Angelo Russell, right? So 1 is to drive the conversation. 2, if anybody is going to get traded, it's D'Angelo Russell. Unless he's just so good, he just basically becomes untradeable, which he's making a real case for. But just because I'm talking about information doesn't mean that I want it to happen. I can talk and start conversations or just report on information or news that is out without agreeing or wanting said news to happen, right? It's just conversations, YouTube again. So I just wanted to clear that up because I do really like D'Lo. Again, you can go, it's all video archived. You can go back and look at me hyping up D'Lo and bringing him to this team, and he is living up to every bit of that. D'Angelo Russell very likely is going to be the third best player on this team. That's why the Lakers went and got him. Now, Austin Reaves is definitely going to give D'Lo a run for his money, and that's great, right? It doesn't hurt to have too many guys, right? It doesn't hurt to have D'Lo and Austin Reaves and Rui Hachimura, who looks great. Oh, and, Christian Wood seems to be kind of coming around, right? Like, all of those things are very important, but D'Lo's looking like the real deal. His ability to just make plays, running the pick and roll with him and Jackson Hayes has been absolute butter, like butter. And his ability to just shoot the three ball with such efficiency off the dribble in a pull-up situation, in transition, and just knock it down consistently, right? He's not just taking the shot just for the sake of taking the shot. He's taking the shot and knocking it down. And he's doing it with such confidence right now. It's a beautiful thing to see. LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they're lucky to have, D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reaves and Rui and all these guys because it's going to take so much pressure off of them. D'Lo takes so much pressure off of LeBron James, it's ridiculous, right? Like, the Lakers have searched the last 3 years since the bubble for a guy to do exactly what D'Angelo Russell is going to do for the Lakers this year and what he did for the Lakers last year. Make plays, allow LeBron to kind of coast and rest, and also go drop, 20 a game. Right? Like, that's what D'Lo gives you, the ability to go and give you, 17 and 8 or, 20 and 8 or whatever you need from him and do it efficiently and effectively. D'Lo's looking like the real deal and he deserves some love. He really does. That Sacramento game was, he was full display. He showed it every game. He showed it against the Nets. He showed it against the Warriors. Like, he is looking like the real deal without a doubt. We are seeing just D'Lo and Anthony Davis alone are enough to get us through this regular season. Just by the way that we've seen Anthony Davis play and the way we're seeing D'Lo play, those two guys with the rest of this roster are more than enough to get us into, the playoffs or whatever, assuming health, right? Then you add in Austin Reaves and his ability to go and be a, 18 a game guy plus, and go get you, or at worst, maybe 15, 5 and 5. Oh, and then you add in the fact that, that's right, Lakers have LeBron James, right? Like, in case you forgot, you still have, a top 10 player in LeBron James on the roster. Like, it's not even fair. It's not. If we get this level of D'Lo and we get, bubble AD, I don't care. Nobody's beating this Lakers team. They're not. The Lakers were undefeated when D'Lo scored 17 or more points with a hobbled LeBron and a hobbled AD. Right? Like, that wasn't by accident. That wasn't just like a one-off thing. That was a large enough sample size to know that the Lakers are very good when D'Lo plays well. If D'Lo plays well and Anthony Davis is playing the way that he's playing, nobody has an answer. Right? Because you're not going to be able to... Teams already don't have an answer for Anthony Davis, but the one way that you can kind of navigate that is double team Anthony Davis, right? How do you double team AD when D'Lo is going off for 20 plus a night and dishing out 8 plus assists, and then you still have to worry about LeBron James, you still have to worry about Austin Reaves, you still have to worry about Christian Wood and Rui Hachimura and Taurean Prince and Gabe Vincent, and just stop. You're not stopping that team. Because they're going to be a top defense, if not the top defense, and they're going to be probably top 5 offense. So good luck. Good luck beating the Lakers. But there is a lot of teams that, yes, have the offensive firepower, right? You look at a team such as the Phoenix Suns, right? Even like a Sacramento, who led the league in scoring last year. Boston will probably be up there. They were top 5 in offense last year, too. There are teams that are good enough offensively. But the Lakers have the offense, they have the defense, and on top of that, they have the depth that no other team in the league has, right? All the other top teams are very top heavy, right? Like a lot of them have 5 to 7 guys at most, right? So that is huge for the Lakers because the Lakers are going to have that advantage in several ways. One, again, being an elite offense, but also an elite defensive team, and having the depth necessary to grind a grueling season, and on top of grinding a grueling season, be able to weather the playoffs and be in a position unlike last year to where, let's say D'Lo does have a bad series, you have 7 other guys that could easily step up and take his place, and you're good. We didn't have that last year. It was like, well, D'Lo and Rui and Schroeder and all these guys are completely absent. What do we do? Right? Well, now it's like, oh, we have Prince, we have Vincent, we have Wood, we have Rui, we have, you name it. Max Christie, like, could even get on. Like, Lakers are set. But anyway, again, as always, this is a discussion. Pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Love to hear it. Let me know.